In the depths of the night, where shadows dance and the world holds its breath, lies a realm where the ordinary twists into something altogether more sinister. It's a world known only to those who toil through the silent hours, the realm of the night shift worker. Among the countless tales that emerge from this nocturnal domain, one story stands out above the rest, a tale of terror that sends shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. Our protagonist, Mark, was no stranger to the eerie solitude of the night. As a seasoned security guard, he had patrolled the desolate industrial complex for years, his footsteps echoing off the cold concrete floors as he kept watch over the silent machinery. But on this particular evening, as he embarked on his routine night shift, little did he know that he was about to face a terror beyond comprehension. The industrial complex, once alive with the hum of activity during the day, now lay cloaked in darkness, its vast expanse stretching out like a labyrinth of shadows. Mark's flashlight pierced the gloom as he made his rounds, the only source of light in the vast emptiness that surrounded him. With each step, a sense of unease crept over him, a feeling of being watched, of unseen eyes tracking his movements from the darkness. As the hours dragged on and the clock struck midnight, the sense of dread that had been gnawing at Mark's insides grew stronger. It was then that he heard it, a faint, distant noise, like the scraping of metal against metal. Heart pounding, Mark followed the eerie sound, his flashlight trembling in his grip. What he discovered sent a chill down his spine, a figure hunched over a piece of machinery, its back turned towards him. Frozen in terror, Mark called out, but his words echoed off the empty corridors, unanswered. The figure remained motionless, its movements jerky and unnatural. With a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach, Mark realized that he was not alone, that something was terribly wrong in this deserted place. Summoning his courage, he approached cautiously, his footsteps echoing in the stillness of the night. As he drew closer, the true horror of the scene before him became clear. The figure was not human. It was a grotesque puppet, its limbs contorted into unnatural positions as if pulled by invisible strings. Panic surged through Mark as he stumbled backward, his mind reeling with disbelief. How could such a thing exist in the realm of the living? Desperate to escape the nightmare unfolding before him, Mark turned to flee, but his path was blocked by a sudden darkness that enveloped him like a suffocating shroud. His flashlight flickered and died, plunging him into a world of utter blackness. In the silence that followed, he could hear the sound of his own ragged breaths, mingling with a low guttural growl that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. Trapped in the abyss of the night, Mark groped blindly for an exit, his hands trembling with fear. With each passing moment, the darkness seemed to close in around him, suffocating him with its oppressive weight. Just when he felt all hope slipping away, a dim light flickered in the distance, a beacon of salvation in the void. Summoning his last reserves of strength, Mark stumbled towards the light, his heart pounding in his chest. As he drew closer, he saw the outline of a door, its frame illuminated by a faint glow. With a surge of relief, he pushed open the door and stumbled out into the cool night air, gasping for breath as he collapsed onto the ground. In the harsh light of dawn, Mark recounted his harrowing ordeal to his colleagues, his voice trembling with the memory of the night's horrors. Though he struggled to find the words to describe what he had seen, one thing was certain. His experience on the night shift had forever changed him, leaving behind scars that would never fully heal. In the aftermath of that fateful night, Mark resigned from his position as a security guard, haunted by the specter of the darkness that had nearly consumed him. Yet, even as he tried to move on with his life, he could never shake the feeling that somewhere, in the depths of the night, the shadows were still watching, waiting to claim their next victim. The true horror of the night shift lies not in the monsters that lurk in the darkness, but in the darkness itself, a vast, unknowable abyss that threatens to swallow all who dare to venture into its depths. And for those who have tasted its bitter embrace, the memory of that terror will forever linger, a chilling reminder of the thin line that separates the world of the living from the realm of nightmares. In the bustling metropolis of New York City, where the skyline is etched with towering skyscrapers that seem to pierce the heavens, lies a hidden world within the confines of a hospital. It's a world where the pulse of life beats in rhythm with the steady hum of machinery, where the thin veil between existence and oblivion is tested with each passing moment. And within this labyrinth of hallways and operating rooms resides Emily, a dedicated nurse whose life is intricately woven into the fabric of the night shift. Emily's apartment, nestled in the quiet embrace of a quaint neighborhood, exudes a sense of serenity amidst the chaos of the city. Lavender candles cast a soft, flickering glow across the walls, imbuing the space with an aura of tranquility. Every corner tells a story, adorned with framed photographs that capture cherished memories frozen in time. The living room, with its plush furniture and warm hues, welcomes her home with open arms, while the kitchen, though small, brims with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee each morning. And in her bedroom, beneath the canopy of a queen-sized bed adorned with plush pillows, Emily finds solace in the embrace of sleep after the long, arduous nights at the hospital. As Emily steps into the hallowed halls of the hospital, a palpable sense of foreboding hangs heavy in the air. The usual symphony of activity has been replaced by an eerie silence, broken only by the soft whisper of footsteps echoing off the sterile walls. Despite her best efforts to shake off the feeling of unease, it clings to her like a shadow, refusing to be dispelled. Each corridor she traverses seems to stretch on indefinitely, the darkness swallowing her whole as she navigates the labyrinthine maze of the hospital's interior. Throughout the night, Emily tends to her duties with meticulous care, moving from one patient to the next with practiced efficiency. Yet, with each passing hour, the sense of dread that permeates the hospital only grows stronger. Strange whispers seem to emanate from the very walls themselves, their words indiscernible yet undeniably real. Emily tries to push aside her mounting apprehension, focusing instead on the tasks at hand, but the feeling of being watched never wanes. Then, a call from the emergency room pierces the silence, jolting Emily from her reverie. A patient, gravely injured in a car accident, has been rushed in for treatment. With a sense of urgency coursing through her veins, Emily hurries to join the medical team in their efforts to save the individual's life. The scene that unfolds before her is a chaotic ballet of life and death, as doctors and nurses work tirelessly to stem the tide of blood that threatens to consume their patient. Yet, amidst the flurry of activity, Emily can't shake the feeling that unseen eyes are watching their every move, their gaze like a weight upon her shoulders. Once the patient is stabilized and the chaos of the emergency room subsides, Emily resumes her rounds, her senses on high alert. But the feeling of unease that has plagued her throughout the night only intensifies as she navigates the dimly lit corridors of the hospital. Strange noises echo through the empty halls, their origin unknown and their meaning incomprehensible. Emily's heart pounds in her chest as she tries to discern the source of the sounds, her every instinct screaming at her to flee. Then, as she rounds a corner, Emily hears it, a faint whisper, barely audible yet undeniably real. Goosebumps prickle her skin as she follows the sound, her footsteps hesitant and uncertain. The darkness seems to close in around her, suffocating her with its oppressive presence, until at last she reaches the end of the hallway. There, standing before her, is a spectral figure, a woman clad in a tattered hospital gown, her eyes ablaze with an otherworldly intensity. Emily's breath catches in her throat as she stares into the abyss of those haunted eyes, her mind reeling with disbelief. For a moment she stands frozen in fear, unsure of what to do. But before she can make a decision, the apparition vanishes into thin air, leaving behind nothing but an icy chill that seeps into Emily's very bones. Trembling, she stumbles back to the nurse's station, her thoughts a whirlwind of confusion and terror. Was it all just a hallucination? A trick of the mind brought on by exhaustion and stress? Or had she truly come face to face with something beyond comprehension? As the first light of dawn breaks through the darkness, Emily knows one thing for certain. The horrors of the night shift are far more than mere tales whispered in the shadows. They are a chilling reality, lurking just beyond the veil of perception, waiting to ensnare the unwary in their icy grip. And though she may never fully understand the true nature of what she encountered that fateful night, one thing remains abundantly clear. The thin line that separates the known from the unknown, the real from the unreal, is far more fragile than she ever dared to imagine. Title: Veiled Secrets. Chronicles of the Nocturnal Realm. Introduction. In the heart of the bustling metropolis, amidst the labyrinthine streets that weave their way through the urban sprawl, stands a monolithic structure, a testament to human ingenuity and ambition. By day, it pulses with the frenetic energy of productivity, its halls teeming with the ceaseless activity of the city's denizens. But as twilight descends and the sun dips below the horizon, a profound transformation occurs, casting the once vibrant edifice into the depths of nocturnal solitude. It is within this enigmatic domain, amidst the hushed whispers of the night, that our tale unfolds. A tale of mystery and intrigue that transcends the boundaries of human understanding. Setting the stage. The office building, a behemoth of steel and glass, rises defiantly against the backdrop of the city's nocturnal skyline, its silhouette a stark contrast to the surrounding darkness. Its towering presence dominates the landscape, a silent sentinel standing guard over the secrets that lie within. Within its labyrinthine corridors, the trappings of modernity give way to an otherworldly ambience, as the sterile glow of fluorescent lights casts long, eerie shadows that dance upon the walls. It is here, amidst the oppressive stillness of the night, that a small cadre of intrepid souls venture forth into the unknown, their footsteps echoing through the empty halls like whispers in the wind. Characters. Among the nocturnal denizens of the office, there exists Sarah, a paragon of diligence and efficiency, whose unwavering commitment to her duties serves as a beacon of reliability amidst the encroaching darkness. With her keen intellect and unyielding resolve, she navigates the labyrinthine corridors with a grace and poise that belies the tumultuous nature of the night. Alongside her proles Mark, a seasoned guardian of the nocturnal realm, whose weathered countenance and steely gaze betray a lifetime spent in the shadows. Armed with naught but a flickering flashlight and an unshakable resolve, he patrols the darkened corridors with a sense of purpose that borders on the divine. And then there's myself, an enigmatic chronicler of the arcane, drawn to the mysteries that lurk within the veiled recesses of the night. With pen in hand and mind ablaze with curiosity, I traverse the shadowed expanse of the nocturnal domain, seeking to unravel the enigma that lies at its core. The incident. As the witching hour approaches and the nocturnal symphony of office machinery fades into the background, a palpable sense of unease descends upon the building like a shroud. The once bustling halls now echo with an eerie stillness, broken only by the faint hum of distant electronics. At first, it manifests as subtle disturbances, a flickering light, a whispering draft, that elicit little more than passing notice. Yet, as the night progresses and the darkness deepens, these anomalies escalate in both frequency and intensity, casting a pall of disquiet over the nocturnal domain. It is Sarah who first perceives the subtle shift in the night's ambience, her senses attuned to the slightest deviation from the norm. A soft rustling, barely audible over the hum of the ventilation system, draws her attention to the desolate expanse of the hallway beyond. Initially dismissing it as a trick of the mind, she finds herself ensnared by a creeping sense of apprehension as the sound grows ever nearer, punctuated by the rhythmic cadence of footsteps echoing through the silence. Mark, ever the vigilant guardian of the night, responds to Sarah's unspoken distress with characteristic resolve, embarking on a solitary patrol of the darkened corridors in search of the source of the disturbance. Armed with naught but a flickering flashlight and an unyielding resolve, He navigates the labyrinthine passages with practiced precision, his senses alert to the whispering shadows that lurk at the periphery of perception. It is amidst the gloom-drenched recesses of the officer's inner sanctum that Mark's vigilance is put to the test, as he encounters a spectral figure shrouded in the embrace of shadow. A man, his visage contorted with anguish, emerges from the Stygian depths, his presence a discordant intrusion upon the tranquil expanse of the nocturnal realm. As Mark draws nearer, the man's anguished cries pierce the silence, a cacophony of desperation that reverberates through the darkness. His words, a disjointed tapestry of fear and uncertainty, paint a portrait of a world teetering on the brink of oblivion, a world beset by unseen forces that stalk the fringes of human comprehension. Together, Mark and I offer solace to the tormented soul, guiding him from the shadowed recesses of the night into the comforting embrace of the officer's fluorescent glow. There, amidst the warm embrace of artificial luminescence, the man finds respite from the encroaching darkness, his trembling form bathed in the gentle radiance of human kindness. Conclusion. As the first tendrils of dawn caress the horizon, banishing the lingering spectres of the night to the depths from whence they came, our nocturnal odyssey draws to a close. The man, his harrowing ordeal now but a distant memory, departs into the embrace of the waking world, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and intrigue that will linger long after his departure. For Sarah, Mark, and myself, the events of that fateful night serve as a testament to the enigmatic nature of the graveyard shift, a realm where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blur, and the shadows hold sway over the waking world. And though the night may fade into the recesses of memory, its echoes resonate eternally within the confines of our collective consciousness, a reminder of the untold wonders that await beneath the cloak of darkness.